Let's get something straight. I'm one of those guys that have viewed the Maui fires of August 8th with an extremely suspicious eye. I don't trust Governor Green, and based on just a few of these early testimonies, it would appear I'm not the only one. Check it out.
And the fires that came, they came to us in the form of a fire hurricane. Winds were 74 miles per hour on the tail end of a hurricane and swept through our town of Lahaina in 17 minutes.
Nobody called us. Our phones didn't work from 5 in the morning. The fire was not 10 o'clock when I went to work. The fire was still there. There was no water. Tell me if that's coincidence. No water, no warning. And everybody talking about the satellite city before the fire. Lahaina going to be the first satellite city.
Oh, we are well aware. Why do you think we're so angry? The governor is an idiot. We all know that the politicians have like their own agenda. I don't know what their agenda is.
I feel something is bigger. I've been on Maui the last 9 years, and I know the geographical location and how everything works. There was no fucking way that a hurricane missed Big Island, went to Maui, and didn't flood them, didn't give them, crazy, other things, but it caused fires. It caused fires in not only on Maui, but it caused fires in the most precious parts of real estate in Maui. Lahaina Front Street is worth billions. The Hawaiians that have been holding out and the Kanaka have been holding out for years, not wanting to sell their property in Lahaina.
Not that long ago, Hawaiian government officials in the areas that were just affected by the wildfires passed a law saying that that land could not be redistricted for new building permits unless some sort or some type of a serious natural disaster occurred. Serious natural disaster occurred.
What's happening right now it epitomizes plantation disaster capitalism, because here we have a handful of incredibly privileged, large landed interests using this terrible tragedy to displace and to push through laws that they were unable to secure when Hawaii State Water Code was in place.
Of course, there were other suspicious oddities as well, such as the media blackout.
This narrative that the media is lying about the reality of the Lahaina fire is incredibly frustrating for me because I am the media. I am the editor of Maui Times, and I have tried relentlessly to get direct information from the County of Maui as well as the Maui Police Department. Both entities have been radio silent and have not responded to any of my calls or emails over the past few days. I also spoke to Maui police officers in person in Lahaina, and they all denied me my First Amendment right to freedom of the press by denying me access to Lahaina town as well as denying me information.
There were also some pretty fantastical rumors of advanced weapons such as lasers or microwaves that might have been used. As you can well imagine, it didn't take long for mainstream media to throw its hat in the ring to debunk what they were quick to call misinformation. I personally don't believe in misinformation. There is just information, or what we might call data in the 21st century. We're all entitled to know all sides of a story as that information becomes available, and believe it or not, we can determine if it is the truth or not. If it is the truth, it will stand under scrutiny, and if it doesn't, then it's a lie, and the person that told you the lie is a liar.
You start talking about laser beams and heat rays coming from space that would take out people in Maui. Come on, let's get real.
Researchers found China and Russia were linked to online misinformation from the Maui wildfires. There were many angry comments, including saying that the report was government propaganda. Land grab. Governor Green did not tell reporters he wanted to make Lahaina a smart city, which was fact-checked by the Associated Press.
She is right, The governor didn't come right out and say a lot of things that he buried in his emergency proclamation. But what he did say is this.
I'm already thinking about ways for the state to acquire that land so that we can put it into workforce housing.
Well, as you can see, there are plenty of reasons to be suspicious, but I thought we would take a look at the ones that got the most ridicule. You know, the ones that people made the most fun of. I wanted to see if it was possible for some advanced weapon to have caused the fires in Lahaina. I figured only a couple of pieces of data were needed to at least keep us from thinking we were going crazy like we were being told by our law enforcement officials and our elected officials. The first piece of data needed was whether such weapons actually exist, and if so, what was the likelihood that they were actually deployed in Maui.
Completely unbelievable. How could our military possibly be using those in future warfare? Guess what? We've just had a recent breakthrough, more great test results that are making lasers a reality. So it's called Athena. Lockheed Martin makes it, and they've been doing a lot of the pioneering in this laser field.
Take a look at this little beauty that shot down all 5 of its moving targets. Turns out, not only do they exist, but you can put them pretty much anywhere. You can see them mounted on trucks. We've seen them mounted on ships parked right outside there in Laniapoko. They're clearly on satellites now, and it probably comes as no surprise that they're easily mounted on aircraft of all kinds. As you can see, we have clearly established that the technology does indeed exist and is in active deployment. And since the governor was talking about space lasers, I thought I'd focus our attention on the possibility of satellite warfare above Maui. I feel that it's important to keep in mind that Maui has been and still is at the forefront of research and development in directed energy. Now, that in and of itself doesn't mean there were advanced technologies deployed in the island, but it doesn't mean there weren't either. This last segment, if it does nothing else, sheds light on at least the possibility of foul play. The Olinda fire was ignited at approximately 10:47 p.m. on August 7th. At this exact time, CCP satellite labeled NORAD 53299 was directly over the target. The Lahaina fire was ignited at approximately 6:37 a.m. on August 8th, and at this time, CCP satellite labeled NORAD 55836 was directly over that target. The Kula fire was ignited at approximately 11:30 a.m. on August 8th, and at this exact time, CCP satellite labeled NORAD 53299 was directly over Kula. Well, as you can see, there's plenty enough evidence for any sane person to question the common narrative. The 3 main questions I wanted to whittle down were, are there advanced technologies in deployment today? The answer to that is yes. Does Maui have a role in those technologies? Again, we can confidently answer yes to that as well. And finally, do we have evidence there was opportunity to deploy such technology in Maui at the time of the fires? Again, we have to confirm that indeed there was. Now, the reason we made this video was not to prove or disprove the rumors of directed energy weapons, but rather to inform you of the possibility. Because while the mainstream media and your public officials are busy gaslighting you and telling you how stupid you are for thinking such things, we thought we would throw a little bit of validation to your thoughts and suspicions. Of course, it doesn't mean they are true, but at the very least, there is enough evidence to indicate a strong possibility of foul play and a cover-up. After this, we hope you know that you're definitely not going crazy. I'm Ethan Shelton. Thanks for joining us. Aloha.